You are worthy. You are enough. And what if your story is the answer to someone's prayers? What if what you went through is what somebody else is going through right now, and they don't think they're going to make it? They see that light at the end of the tunnel and they think it's a train. You may have known that hopelessness. When we reach down and help one person after we've been helped, we make a difference. We make an impact. We change a family.
Has your life, your dreams been interrupted? Good news. It is possible to reinvent our lives. People are doing it every day, and some are brave enough to share the struggles, disappointments, and challenges. If you are looking for a new beginning, a do-over, or to rediscover your passion, maybe even find a new one, then grab a cup of coffee and let's talk. Interrupted, Act 2, Reinventing Your Legacy, with your host, Coach Laurie.
Do you have a message that you feel called to share? Is there something you've learned, or something you know, or something you've been through that you know will help others, but you don't know what to do? How do you figure it out? We live in a day and age with so much technology that it can almost be overwhelming because there's so many ways to share your story. Of course, we have social media, all those platforms. You can record it on your phone. You can record it as a podcast. You could do a YouTube video. Am I overwhelming you yet? You could write a book. But you might be hearing all these things and going, oh my gosh, no, it's too much. It's overwhelming. Or you might be thinking, I should do, say, a podcast when really you love YouTube. Or maybe you're thinking, I should write a book when really you want to do a podcast. It's so amazing how our mind works and how self-sabotage works. We know we're prompted to share our story. That's why you're listening. You have something. You want to share it, or maybe you don't want to share it, but you know it's something that will help people. So if this is you, if you know you have something to share, you don't know how, you don't know where, you don't know what, I'm going to give you a link. It's Calendly.com, like calendar, Calendly.com, LawCoach-1 / That's Calendly.com/LawCoach-1 / discovery. And you might be thinking, oh, you're just going to pitch me. You're just going to try to sell me. But truly, what I want for you is for you to share your story in the best way possible for you. Now, does that mean I might not challenge you? Does it mean maybe it's not your time yet? Or maybe it's your time and I'm going to ask you to face your fears? Whatever it is, it's really not about me selling you a program. It's about you figuring out if now is the time. Because seriously, you can go online. There's tons of programs that will teach you how to podcast, teach you how to write a book. You can find what you need, but it's deciding what you need that is the really important part. So go ahead, book a call, and let's get to the bottom of where you're at and what it is you want to share. Now, you may be thinking, I have a great story. It's rags to riches. Or you may be saying, I have a terrible story because I had a bad life and I did bad things. And I know that's hard too. But if you know your story is to be shared, then let's find out the best way for you to do it. And we will explore options, because if you decide it is for you, then how do you afford to get in a program? Or where do you find a free program? What is the right fit for you? You might be tech savvy enough to take a quick free course and be on your way. You might need a little more support. You might already know of a course you want to take, but you're just not sure you want to invest the money. But here's the cool thing. Number one, feeling valued enough to invest in yourself. And then recognizing there are a lot of ways to invest in yourself. There are a lot of options. I was on an amazing call today where there was an ask at the end of the call. It was a big ticket item too. And she asked the people on the call that had decided to do her course what they came up with as an idea. Somebody said, I sold a bunch of stuff. Somebody else said, I got a credit card for the first time. Somebody asked their parents. There were so many great ideas of how to get support or money so that you can invest in yourself and turn around and invest in others. You are worthy. You are enough. And what if your story is the answer to someone's prayers? What if what you went through is what somebody else is going through right now and they don't think they're going to make it? They see that light at the end of the tunnel and they think it's a train. You may have known that hopelessness. When we reach down and help one person after we've been helped, we make a difference. We make an impact. We change a family because there's a ripple effect when we're willing to share our story. I have another podcast I do for adult survivors of sexual abuse. And often people come on and they tell their story for the first time and they're really afraid. It's scary. It's scary to share something that you've been keeping a secret your whole life, that you've been threatened to keep a secret your whole life. So you may have a story that's hard to tell. You may have a story that's going to need a little time, but how much time will you take? How much work will you do while you're waiting?
Coach Laurie here. I am not anti-aging. I am all about aging gracefully. Did you know we stop making collagen at a certain age? And did you know powdered collagen has to go through your whole digestive system? So I am a big fan of Glow Liquid Collagen. It helps me age gracefully, inside and out. To order, check the link below. By the way, if you order two at the same time, free shipping. Or if you would like to be an affiliate, make a little extra cash, click the affiliate link.
So you may have a story that's hard to tell. You may have a story that's going to need a little time, but how much time will you take? How much work will you do while you're waiting? If now isn't the time, that's okay. You know your timing, because really deep down we know what we know, right? And we know when the time is right. I remember when I was raising my kids, I had a friend who kept encouraging me to get back into radio. And although I really wanted to, I knew the time wasn't right until my kids were older. And I had to trust that. So it may not be your time, but that doesn't mean you can't explore your story and explore for when you're ready how you might want to share it. You might think, I hate my voice. I can't do a podcast. Newsflash. Everybody hates their voice at first. I think it's a rare person who hears a recording of their voice and goes, oh, I love my voice. I do a lot of editing for people and I'll send them a finished product. And although to me it sounds beautiful with the music under it and their voice, they'll instantly reply and say, I hate my voice. It takes a minute. You might say, I'm not a writer. I can't write. We live in a day and age where you don't have to write. We have recording. People have written books without ever lifting a pen. We have this new thing called AI, which is pretty amazing, and it can help you. So there might be a lot of things you don't know that you don't know, and you're feeling called. And I promise you, if you say yes, the how will show up. But you have to say yes to the calling. The reason I started this podcast is I saw so many people saying no. They got to a certain age and they didn't want to face the technology. They didn't want to do the things they had to do to leave their legacy, to tell their stories. They thought it was too hard. And so I got on a mission to help people share their stories in whatever way works for them. Whatever vehicle, maybe it's a Jeep, maybe it's a Cadillac, whatever vehicle, whatever way works for you. And there may be a learning curve, but you know what else? There's help. There's support. There's people that will do the things you don't want to do. And you might say, I can't afford it, but you might be surprised. You might be surprised that you could trade for something, or maybe it's not as expensive as you think. People say to me all the time, I'm going to have to get some money so I can build a podcast studio. You can podcast from your phone, in your car. You don't have to buy anything. The platforms are free. Some of them have an upgrade if you want. It's not about money. It's about saying yes. It's about facing the fear and doing the thing and knowing that in telling your story, you might help one person. You might help 1,000 people. Your story might be hard to tell, so maybe you're not going to tell it to the masses right away. That's okay too. You might think, my story is so specific, who would possibly be able to relate? But you might be surprised. So is it time? If you're not sure, book a call. If you are sure, consider taking a course. If not mine, then some course, some way to help you and support you. That's what I love about my course is we have lots of people in there that support and love you. And when you launch your podcast, they're all supporting you and sharing it and giving you reviews and doing all the things to help you get to where you want to go. It's an amazing community that will help support you in your next. All you've got to do is say yes. If not now, when? If not this, what? And if not you, who will be the answer to their prayer? We can pray somebody else will say yes, but wouldn't it be easier if you did?
Have you heard if not now, when? If not you, then who? Are you being prompted to write a book, to create a podcast? Check out Leaving a Legacy at www.coachlaurie, that's Coach, LAURIE.com. And let's get started on your second act now.
So go ahead. Book a call and let's get to the bottom of where you're at. It's Calendly.com, like calendar, Calendly.com, LawCoach-1 /discovery. That's Calendly.com/LawCoach-1 /discovery.
If you love this podcast, here's a big ask. Will you share with your friends and family, subscribe, give us a review, and a 5-star rating so that others looking to reinvent their lives will be able to get the help they're looking for? Thank you in advance.